want to convert your audience into fans and into buyers, then you must be making a good impression on camera. Because if you're making a bad impression on camera, you can be sure that your sales are going to suffer because people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you need to factor into your videos so that you can increase your conversion rates. Hey, I'm Demelza and I'm the founder of Video for Impact, and my mission is to help purpose-driven course creators and coaches maximize their impact through the power of video. Now, the first thing we're going to be looking at is the need to balance warmth and competence. Now, if we focus on competence, it's unlikely you're going to make some sales because although competence is really important in helping to build that trust factor, it's not going to help with the liking factor because you can come across as very cold and very indifferent and very much focused on the content and very driven in that regard, and to the point where you are not really making that connection with your audience. You are just very driven, maybe feeling very salesy because you've got to make that sale, and it's just a bit of a turn off for people who are going to be wanting to make a connection with you and feel like they like you. Now, on the other hand, if you neglect competence and you focus all on the friendliness aspect, you might come across as super sweet and really friendly and such a nice person and someone who's just really nice to chat to, but actually the competence side of things is neglecting, so people aren't necessarily going to move forward with you with sales because they don't know that you can realistically help them. Yes, you're a really nice person, you're so sweet, but it's not really moving them to that next step. And depending on which kind of video you're doing and where they are at in their journey with you, if they're just getting to know you, if you're really super friendly and kind of talking to them as if you've known them all their lives, then that can be a little bit much right at the beginning of their relationship with you. Whereas if you were further down the journey, maybe you are actually doing live Zoom calls, for example, and it's an opportunity to have a group coaching session which is a bit more relaxed, then absolutely this would be very appropriate to be more relaxed and friendly and open, but maybe not when they are in the initial stages of the video journey with you. So how can we make sure that we are getting this balance right? Well, the first thing is your smile. Your smile really indicates how friendly and warm you are and invites somebody to be like, oh, this is a nice person, this is someone I like. So make sure that you're smiling in your videos. It doesn't have to be throughout the entire video. You can be serious at times and not have to smile all the time, but do include the smiles because it really does make a difference in making that connection with your audience. You also want to think about your posture, because if you're kind of slumped over and really kind of just relaxed, and in this kind of posture I'm showing right now, you don't look very confident. You don't look like somebody I'm going to put a lot of confidence in because your posture just does not communicate that. Now, if you are sitting up, shoulders back, looking ahead and really just coming across as more confident in your posture, then that's going to draw confidence from your audience that they can be confident in you and what you're saying and the offer that you might be making. However, you don't want to do the opposite extreme either. So if this is kind of exuding a lack of confidence, a posture, then, puffing your chest up and putting your head and chin up like this kind of communicates a bit of an arrogant posture, kind of looking down your nose. And most people do not want to buy from somebody who is arrogant. So you don't want to come across in this kind of posture either, because that's just not going to work either. So keep your head straight, eye level, chin just slightly up to elongate your neck so as it looks more attractive, shoulders back, but not chest out, head up kind of thing, because obviously it's going to communicate the wrong message that you want. You also want to make sure that you're sitting far enough away from the camera that you can use your hand gestures in the screen, because using hand gestures actually on screen helps to increase trust. So obviously you don't want to be using jazz hands, because if you're just having hands in the screen just because, then that's going to be distracting. But if you can use your hand gestures purposefully and use it in such a way as to emphasize the points that you are making, then that can actually help really build the trust that you want to make. Just make sure that you keep the hands on screen, because if it's off screen, then people aren't necessarily going to be able to figure out what it is that you're doing, and that's going to create doubt. And if there's any doubt in their minds, doubters don't buy. So you don't want to create that sense of doubt. So keep your gestures in screen so that people can you can build that trust with them. and ultimately, hopefully, make a sale. Now, the second thing you want to make sure of is to make sure that you and your content is engaging from the start, because people, ultimately, they form their opinion of you and your content within the first few seconds of your video. So you really want to start your videos with a strong hook that grabs the attention right from the start. And if you are going to be using lives, coaching calls, strategy calls, that kind of thing, you might also want to kind of do a little wave and say, hey, and first name if it's just an individual call kind of thing, because this helps, again, to build that friendliness and trust right from the start. Now, if you are doing pre-produced videos or lives, then I would encourage you to go ahead and use a video framework that helps you to stay on track and to be succinct in the delivery of your content. And if you're doing strategy calls or discovery calls or anything along those lines, then I would encourage you to go ahead and introduce yourself, kind of wave, say hi, welcome that person individually, and then start with an icebreaker question, something like, what is something that you are thankful for today? It just adds a little bit more thought than, hey, how are you? Which kind of is like really boring. So, kind of think up icebreaker questions that are more interesting and draws more out of the other person, and that will help build that rapport as you talk to them. And then immediately afterwards, go ahead and set the agenda for that meeting, whatever that looks like, so that the meeting can stay on track and that you can accomplish the goals for which you are meeting. The thing to remember here is that you're going to come across more competent if you can stick to the topic and keep concise in the delivery of your content. And you're going to come across as more friendly and approachable if you are smiling as you deliver that content. And if you are using hand gestures, which can be done appropriately, then that helps to build trust as well. And of course, all of this builds that know, like, and trust factor, which is really important in the buying process. Now, before I get to my last point, I'm just curious, do you use your hands when you're talking, or are you more the kind of person that just keeps your hands still on the lap? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. The other thing that's really important to consider in making a good impression is to put some effort into the production value. Now, I have got lots of videos that talk about different aspects of this, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over the areas that you want to think about, and that is your camera, your lighting, and your audio. So with camera, you just want to make sure that your angles are looking good, to make sure that you are looking good in the frame and your composition is looking nice. You want to make sure your lighting is good, because that makes a huge difference to the quality of the image and how good you look. And also your audio, because people tolerate bad video more than they tolerate bad audio. So if your audio quality is bad, then they are not going to stick around to listen to your content no matter how good it is. So you really want to focus on having good video, good audio, and this is going to help boost your credibility as a professional, because anybody can turn a video camera on. But a professional is going to look the part. They're going to look like they've made an effort. They look professional, right? In the way that they have set everything up and in the way that they come across. So I really encourage you to put some effort into your production value as well. So as I've said, making a good impression is really important. So I encourage you to check out the next video to make sure that you are not making some common video mistakes that could be hindering your business growth.